Stahli.
Sweet, holy hell, welcome back. This is Brett, who is Blue Stahli and Sunset Neon, kicking back in with another Ask Blue Stahli, the video segment where you ask me questions across the social media wasteland with the Ask Blue Stahli hashtag, and then I provide things closely resembling answers to you through this video device thing. Maybe they're answers, maybe they're not. Maybe it's just something. And the first question up, Dimitri asks, "Hi Brett, what kind of drum plugins do you use?" Well, Dimitri, I don't actually use really drum plugins. I just use the sampler that's inbuilt into the DAW that I use, which is Renoise. I like chopping stuff up and using things that maybe shouldn't be drums or things that are from old drum machines, stacking things on top of each other, turning things into bizarre little drum kits, and then doing all sorts of crazy little programming things. And that tends to look something like this. Chantel asks, "Are you going to remix/cover Rhythm as a Dancer?" Well, you can feel it. You can feel it. Ricardo would greatly like to know, is the monkey still trying to kill you?
What? No, of course not. Huh?
Shadman Sakib asks, a new game called Cyberpunk 2077 is being made by CD Projekt Red. Are we going to hear your music in it? And can you tell us anything about that? Well, first of all, the game looks fantastic. I've seen videos that have been posted, whether it's like the trailers or like little, in progress things that they've been releasing in concept art. It looks absolutely beautiful, and as someone who is covered in circuit board tattoos and the type of music that I make and how I make it, I'm obviously someone who loves the high, holy, merciful hell out of all things cyberpunk. So I'm really excited for this game to come out and to see it. I'm too dumb to know how to play games, so I'm just going to watch playthroughs. Anyway, there's nothing official that I know of my music being in the game, but on the unofficial tip, there's an unofficial Spotify playlist that someone created that has pretty much everything that they would want to have in the game, like the songs that they think, oh, this matches the aesthetic of Cyberpunk 2077, and they were kind enough to use like 7 of my songs in this thing, as well as tracks from Cell Dweller and Circle of Dust and Scandroid and The Annex. There's a lot of fixed love on there, which is very cool to see. So that's the closest that there is. I would love to be in that game. That would be fan-damn-tastic, whether it's a brand new track from scratch or songs of mine that already exist that they would like to have in there. I'm all for it. I would gladly do that. But in the meantime, to satisfy that little craving, I'm going to put a link down in the description of this video on YouTube, or wherever the hell else this is posted. I'm going to post links to that as well, straight to that Spotify playlist, so you can get lost in that world. Alex asks, I hope I pronounced that right, by the way. Alex asks, any horror movies you like? And hot damn, yes. Horror is one of my favorite genres, both in literature and in film, and pretty much any other damn medium you can possibly imagine. Martyrs and Antichrist have long been some of my absolute favorites. Recently, I really liked A Dark Song. I think is that on Netflix? I don't know where the hell it is. Find A Dark Song. That's a really good movie. I went and saw Hereditary and absolutely adored it. The score is also phenomenal on that as well. The Colin Stetson score on that is cool. There's interviews with him where he's talking about where he did the score with a bunch of it's Colin Stetson, so it's a bunch of woodwinds and stuff like that, but everything is like highly manipulated and all sorts of like crazy processing that he did to stuff to just make just a score full of evil, and it's great. It was one of my favorite things, and I can't wait to see the movie at least 3 more times. Aside from that, I'm really in the midst of catching up on a bunch of stuff, and the one that I'm really excited for right now is Mandy, which has Nicolas Cage in the starring role, and it's made by Mr. Panos Cosmatos. And the trailer just came out on the day that I'm recording this, and it looks fantastic. It looks like it's everything I want. Galen asks, what is best in life? And really, I mean, aside from being able to make weird music for a bunch of really great people, it's to
crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and get the lamentation of their women.
Bill Warner asking, as a producer, do you ever struggle with perfectionism? And holy hell, yes. Every day. Every damn day. Trying to get better, though. I can really only speak for myself. I'm sure other people have this problem as well. It tends to affect anyone doing anything creative at all. But I definitely get stuck in the trap of, say I need a section for this chorus, and I'll make 20 different options for it. I can spend a lot of time going through all those different options, but at the end of the day, usually what I had in the demo or within the first, couple passes is what winds up being in the actual song. So it's a tough cycle to be stuck in, and it's one that takes constant fighting against to break out of it. So if you're one of these people who, like me, are sitting there just like flipping through, trying to find this has to be exactly the right hi-hat sound or something like that. What I've started doing is the things that I have in the session, or the things that I have easy to pull from to use, whatever that is, I'll try to make that work. And I usually wind up doing something more creative in trying to wrangle some other sound and make it to fit in there, rather than spending ages and ages and ages doing things that eventually aren't even going to make it into the song. C. Danger Jones coming into the question, with the revival of Ask Blue Stahli, are we going to see the return of vlogs? Hashtag Ask Blue Stahli. That's the aim. I know a lot of people have also asked about STAHLIVISIONs as well. I film a lot of stuff on my Instagram stories, which, of course, disappear within 24 hours for you, but they stay on my camera roll. So I may start incorporating some of those into some regular STAHLIVISION stuff, because that's usually the first thing that I reach for when there's something weird happening out in life. I'm like, well, Instagram should see some of this nonsense. So some of those will show up, and some just regular video updates of what's going on, filmed in, correct horizontal view as well. So that is the aim. That will be coming to all of these platforms. And Kyle Aaron Evans asking, can we expect any special guests on this upcoming album? Love the music, keep up the great work. First of all, thank you. It's very nice of you, appreciate that. There may just be some guests on this album. I can't totally commit and say yes or no right now, but there's at least one that I know of that I think will come together and will be extremely awesome. And finally, there's a bunch of questions that are all basically variations on the same thing. Where have you been? When's the next vocal stuff coming out? How about at least a new vocal single? I hear you. And yes, this is sort of just to answer all that stuff, because that's totally fair. So, well, first of all, just a little timeline, so you know that there wasn't just I didn't stop making music after The Devil. That record came out in 2015. Then in 2016, there was Premonitions, which had some new stuff, as well as some little variations on some songs from The Devil. Then in 2017, which by the way, there were also some singles scattered around here as well, like the Rebel Yell cover and the track Run the Track with Nizzy Nice. But 2017, we had the full record of Anti-Sleep Volume 4, and then directly after that, I did the full debut album of Sunset Neon, Starlight, which, if you haven't heard that yet, it's a little different than Blue Stahli. You may dig it. It's all kind of 80s indie pop, chill wavy kind of stuff. It's basically the lost soundtrack to a VHS straight-to-video movie from 1986. So it's kind of the daytime to Blue Stahli's nighttime. Go listen to that. Hopefully you dig it. Unfortunately, around that same time, my mom was diagnosed with a really super aggressive form of cancer. So for a period of about 8 months, 9 months, I spent my time in caretaker mode, taking care of my mom and helping out along this really terrible journey that she had found herself on. Because all my time was directed towards that, I didn't have a lot of time for making music or doing art in any kind of sense. I was really only able to do maybe like 3 remixes. I did the Humanarchy remix for Circle of Dust, the Monochrome remix for Scandroid, and the Freaks Me Out remix for Collide. All that stuff has since shown up. That's really all I had time to do, and we had some other not fun stuff happen along the way that just did not make things easier. And unfortunately, 2 months ago, she passed away, and she was the strongest, most loving, most amazing person I'll ever know. And I'm saying this to like really cherish your family. Like take it, like turn this video off and go tell your parents that you love them, and go tell your family that you love them. Like whoever is around you that you love and you care about, go tell them that you love them right now. It's very important. That said, there's been a lot to still deal with and get taken care of in the aftermath. Still dealing with that, but I'm now freshly getting back into making music. So you've probably seen some of those clips pop up. So you're gonna get some new stuff very soon. The new single is done. I just heard the new master of it today. Sounds fantastic. If you wanted like the big heavy stuff and big thrashy drums and glitchiness and stuff like that, this is so far up your alley you'll get stuck there. That's coming out. There's a very cool release coming out with some new stuff that I can't totally tell you what it is, but it's awesome and you're gonna dig it. There's an entire album of Devil remixes coming out, which is fantastic. There's a bunch of really talented producers on there that all did their interpretation of the songs, and it's everywhere from industrial stuff to bass music to funky stuff. It's all over the place, just as it should be, and a bunch of super talented people came together on that and made that happen. That's going to be coming out very soon, and after that, I'm just going to be doing new vocal singles and new weirdo singles for you as well to listen to. There's some stuff for film and TV on the horizon that I'll be working on, and there's a lot of loud noises coming your way, and a lot of funky stuff too. And thank you very much for sticking with me and supporting me through this whole thing. Even though you guys didn't know what was going on, it really meant a lot to me to, like the few times that I would be able to actually do something, or or jump online for a little bit. It really did mean a lot to see people being so positive and see people saying that you had no idea what was going on in my life, but you sent very nice messages of just saying like, hey, I like the music that you do. Even just something like that meant a lot. And the guys that you were the fact that you guys are so positive was very, very cool to see, and it's why I'm telling you why you didn't hear much from me then. But yeah, I will be making a bunch of new stuff. There's a bunch of new music coming your way, and I appreciate the hell out of you. So thank you.